Atomic Habits, FAQ. Common questions and where you'll find the answers. The second law. What if a habit gets boring? How can I stick with it? There are many ways to stick with a new habit, and I cover the most important ones throughout the book. I'll offer one of them here: temptation bundling. Temptation bundling is one way to apply a psychology theory known as Premack's principle. Named after the work of Professor David Premack, the principle states that more probable behaviors will reinforce less probable behaviors. In other words, if you can find something you already want to do and connect it with the habit that you need to do, you'll be more likely to complete the habit. To put it another way, you're more likely to find a behavior attractive if you get to do one of your favorite things at the same time. Perhaps you want to hear about the latest celebrity gossip, but you need to get in shape. Using temptation bundling, you could only read the tabloids and watch reality shows at the gym. This simple rule allows you to bundle your temptation to read tabloids with your habit of going to the gym. And you're more likely to do what you need to do if it means you get to do something you really want to do along the way. For more ideas on how to make good habits stick, see chapters 8, 9, 14, and 19. How can I stay motivated when my habits go against the grain of my social environment? As I cover in chapter 9, social norms are a powerful driver of our everyday behavior. If you find yourself in a social situation where your desired habit goes against the grain of the group, then it will be hard to stick with it because doing so seems unattractive, an inversion of the second law. The best option is to join a culture where 1. Your desired behavior is the normal behavior, and 2. You already have something in common with the group. When this is not possible, you'll need to leverage the remaining 3 laws of behavior change. If you can manage to make a habit obvious, easy, and satisfying, then it's possible you'll be able to stick with it even if it runs against the social norm. For more on habits and social norms, see chapter 9. End of Atomic Habits, FAQ, the second law. Atomic Habits FAQ, the third law. I know I should do it, but I still don't. Why can't I get started? Even when you know you should start small, it's easy to start too big. When people want to build a new habit like running every week, they think they are making it easy by saying something like, "I'll just run for 15 minutes." In reality, this is still too big. A truly tiny behavior is something like put on my running shoes or fill up my water bottle. You want to take on the smallest possible behavior that gets you moving in the right direction. The most effective way I know to counteract this tendency is to use the 2-minute rule, which states, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The idea is to make your habits as easy as possible to start. A new habit should not feel like a challenge. The actions that follow can be challenging, but the first 2 minutes should be easy. For more examples on how to use the 2-minute rule, see chapter 13. I know I shouldn't do it, but I can't stop. How can I stay disciplined? If you find yourself falling into an unwanted habit again and again, one of the most effective strategies is to create a commitment device. A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that controls your actions in the future. It is a way to lock in future behavior, bind you to good habits, and restrict you from bad ones. For example, if you wish you didn't sleep in late, then setting up an early morning meeting is a commitment device that forces you to get out of bed. Suddenly there's a cost to staying in bed. The unwanted behavior becomes more painful and less satisfying, an inversion of the fourth law. There are many ways to create a commitment device. You can reduce overeating by purchasing food in individual packages rather than in bulk size. You can voluntarily ask to be added to the banned list at casinos and online poker sites to prevent future gambling sprees. Commitment devices are useful because they enable you to take advantage of good intentions before you can fall victim to temptation. For more examples of commitment devices and how to use them, see chapter 14. How long does it take to form a new habit? This is one of the most common questions I hear, so I'll give you the answer straight away. The research says that, on average, it takes about 2 or 3 months for a habit to form. One study calculated that the average was 66 days to create a new habit. Of course, that was just one study, and the range in that particular study varied widely depending on the habit, anywhere from 3 weeks to over 8 months. However, all of this discussion about how long obscures the real issue. What people should really be asking is, how many does it take to form a new habit? That is, how many repetitions are required to make the habit automatic? There is nothing magical about time passing with regard to habit formation. It doesn't matter if it's been 21 days or 30 days or 300 days. What matters is the rate at which you perform the behavior. You can do something twice in 32 days or 200 times. It's the frequency that makes the difference. The key point is that building a new habit is not a finish line to cross, but a lifestyle to be lived. There is no point where you cross the finish line and poof, a new habit is created. If you want a habit to last, then you need to be willing to make it a part of your long-term life. For more on how habits form, see chapters 3 and 11. How can I make changes as easily as possible? Making habits easy to do is crucial, that I named it the third law of behavior change. There are many ways to increase the ease of a habit, but one of the most useful strategies is to search for points of friction and eliminate them. For example, if you want to exercise before work, but your gym is 20 minutes out of the way from your commute, then you'll be less likely to make the trip. The friction is too high. Conversely, if you join a gym that is on the way to work, then fitting in a workout becomes much easier. You can use this idea in reverse too. If you delete your email application off your phone after each individual use, then you will be less likely to check email throughout the day. It's a bit of a hassle to download the app if you're simply going to glance at it. The friction is too high, and so you only download it and log in when you really need to use it. The central idea is to create an environment where doing the right thing is as easy as possible, and the unproductive thing as difficult as possible. For more ideas on how to reduce friction associated with good habits, see chapter 12. How small can a change be and still remain useful? It can be easy to dismiss small habits as not being worthwhile. The truth is, small habits can reinforce the identity you want to build. If you show up at the gym 5 days in a row, even if it's just for 2 minutes, you are casting votes for your new identity. As the votes accumulate, so does the evidence of your new identity. If a small habit reinforces your desired identity, then it is meaningful. And if it is meaningful, then it is actually a big deal. For more on how small habits add up and shape your identity, see chapters 1 and 2. End of Atomic Habits FAQ, the second and third laws.